So how big was this cabin event that we just had? We'll resort to some illustrations again to give you a sense of scale. It's as if the entire lower tip of Manhattan broke off, except that the thickness, the height of it, is equivalent to buildings that are 2.5 or 3 times higher than they are. It took 100 years for it to retreat 8 miles from 1900 to 2000. From 2000 to 2010, it retreated 9 miles. So in 10 years, it retreated more than it had in the previous 100.
Well, this is going to seem like a very austere presentation, but I promise you that it has a happy ending. Impact investing is the idea that you don't have to choose between social good, doing good in the world, and making money. You can make money and make the world a better place at the same time. And impact is really a matter of perspective. What is really impactful? It can be putting solar panels on roofs in Africa. You can touch the life of one child that you teach or mentor. You can make people healthier with smoothies. I also, built 3 companies as an entrepreneur. I would say that, with each business I was called crazy, and each time I was proven right. I always had that child's face, and I think I still have it. And I decided to try and go for the big one this time. These are my most productive years according to the statistics. I said, okay, let's try to do something huge. Climate change seems like a problem that's very difficult to tackle, right? We all know it's an issue, but what can we really do? We can recycle, we can write a letter to our elected officials, but in some sense I think we feel powerless when we look at statistics like the fact that we're right now locked into 1.5 degrees of climate change increase, and we're on a path towards 3 degrees by 2050. Now, I have a friend in the financial industry, a very arrogant fellow, who said to me, 3 degrees, what's the big deal, 3 degrees? Well, at 3 degrees, New York City will be underwater. At 3 degrees, Italy, Greece, and Spain, who in many cases are already underwater, will also be deserts. At 3 degrees, tropials will drop by 30-40%. This is a major, major problem. And we have to find solutions to accomplish, we have to fix this problem together. The cost of this problem is also something that we don't all realize. This is going to cost our planet 5 to 20% of global GDP, if you think of it in terms of global GDP, or otherwise 3.5 to 14 trillion. Now that's at the time when we can't afford it. We have a debt crisis on our hands, and so we have other priorities, and we don't realize the path that we're going down. So what can we do? Well, look, it's a very simple equation that we in Canada at Energous have decided to make or look at. Impact, true global impact, comes from scale. You can't have true global impact unless what you're doing is going to achieve scale. You cannot achieve scale unless you're making somebody some money. So we need to find a way to make returns in order to get the scale, in order to get the impact. I mentioned that I was a serial entrepreneur. I built 3 businesses. One we took public on the London Stock Exchange and reached the FTSE 50. Another company that I had venture capital backing that we sold to a NASDAQ company. And a third, because I had made enough money, that we self-financed, that was also called Very Crazy, that eventually got acquired by a NASDAQ company, and that was Blue Slice Networks. And a small group of engineers in Canada doing something revolutionary in the world of subscriber data management and telecom that was considered too difficult because you were competing with the sumo wrestler that is Ericsson or Nortel or whomever, ended up getting acquired while companies like Nortel died by Techlec, which is $1 billion